Hello everyone, and welcome to batch 238 in the freeze dryer. Can you tell what that is? It's cheese. I've done shredded cheese before, never this shaved cheese. The shredded cheese I do is usually, well, even if I shred it, something like a mozzarella or a Colby or a pepper jack, something like that. And there's a reason I'm telling you that. This is the first time I've ever done this shaved blend Belgioso, Asiago, Parm, and Romano. My husband uses this in his salads. He uses it with everything. He loves this cheese. My daughter likes it as well. So I really decided I wanted to try to freeze dry some of this. And I get this 1.75 pound bag at Sam's Club, and then they have like monthly specials occasionally, so this is $2 off, which I think brought it down to $7 or $8. I thought I would be able to put 2.5 pounds on each tray, so we bought 6 of these. And it turns out, you can see that is pretty full, and it shrunk just a little bit. So they were a little more full. I was actually only comfortable with putting 1.5 pounds on there. I would have been able to put more on, but I just didn't want it to overflow, or I don't know. I just didn't. And besides, it's not a big deal. My daughter took a bag and Sam will eat the rest. So, I've never done, and I don't know if it's because it's an aged cheese, but I want to show you something here. You see that? That's not water, that's fat. So you can't freeze dry fat, it'll just go rancid. So since we have this cheese already in the refrigerator because of the extra bags, I'm still going to go ahead and put, I mean, you can't even tell on the top. It's limited pretty much to the bottom. And like that piece there has a little speck. See where that's shiny? You don't want anything shiny like that with because that's your fat. So like, I don't know. I don't eat this hard cheese, so I'm not sure if it was one type that did it or if it all did it. So what I'm going to do then is just make this another one of my experiments. So I'm going to end up with, 12 half-pound bags of this cheese. And I still put the same date on there, like my date code, like I always do. I really don't believe this is going to last 30 years. So what we will do is, I really hope somebody reminds me, I need to start keeping a freeze-dry calendar so I remember to check certain things that were questionable. I would like to check this in a month or maybe in 6 months. And then every few months after that, just so I can have a good idea of how long it usually lasts. So if I freeze dry this and I get 5 years out of it, I would call that a success. I mean, I don't know if you can this. I've heard of people canning, what kind of cheese was that? Cream cheese. And it didn't work for me. I did that, and I'm actually going to do a taste test because we canned butter and we canned cream cheese, and we left it for 2 years, I think, and yeah, it wasn't very good. So ghee, well, I think the butter turned to ghee, which we're not really fond of. But anyway, so I digress as usual. So since I'm only going to have 12 bags, and how many bags do I do? 20. I need to find something to fill up 8 other bags, and I found one thing, but let me just show you the notes on this. So it was batch 238. And the date was the 16th, and I don't even know the date now. That's crazy. 18th maybe? I don't know. Yeah, something like that. So anyway, I did a 9-hour freeze and a 24-hour dry cycle, which in effect is adding time anyway. And I I put 1.5 pounds on each tray. So far, each tray after it was freeze dried was 462 grams, 456 grams. I haven't obviously weighed the other two yet, but they'll be right around there. I just like to know how much things weigh. And then of course I'll take that 462 divided by 3, come up with what, 154 I think it was, and put that in, that gram weight, in one bag, and that's what I'll call 1/2 pound of cheese. So it was 1.75 pounds, and I didn't write the price because I meant to go look it up, and I didn't. So this this morning, so yeah, it was the 18th, the freeze dryer was done. I went to check it, and I had forgotten to add time last night, and it was done, and I was impressed. I'm like, wow. So it was only 42, right under 43 hours, and that was with me adding time. And I had my youngest grandson, my oldest one went home, the youngest one came, and he stayed. He's going to be here 4 days. So anyway, the freeze dryer ran after I added some time because I wasn't ready. I would have been ready had I done it in a timely manner, but things don't work out like that around here. 54 hours and 35 minutes of that 11, almost 12 hours was extra added time. So then it did run, like I said, for 42 hours and 45 minutes, although the pump was pretty cold when I got there, which told me, since the room was hot, it was probably off for 4 hours. And of course I had added an additional 17 hours to that. So it looks like this would have taken 25 hours. Some things go fast, but maybe it went fast because it wasn't a success. I don't know. So I know I have a couple people out there who are subscribers who do freeze drying. Let me know if you've ever done a hard cheese like, or these dry cheeses like Asiago, Parmesan, or Romano, and if you've had success with them, and what you did with them, because like here I am back with this, you know, showing you what it's like under there. It's not too bad under there, but it's just something that I don't like. You see that shiny? You should not have anything like that. So that is the shining that will go rancid. So I just, like I said, I just not going to do the whole thing again. I'm not going to tell you everything again, but you know what I'm doing. So this is one of the things we picked up at Sam's Club, were these Carnation Breakfast Essentials, nutritional drink mix. So it has a 30 pack. I wasn't sure if Nick would like them, so when he went home, I gave him 2 to take home to try, because I feel like this is, you know, something nice to have for breakfast, or in addition to a breakfast, or I don't know, much better than the Pop-Tarts that he likes to have for breakfast before school. So I think I'm just going to put 12 in one of these half-pound, but you know, that probably won't fit 12 in there. I don't know, we'll see. But I'll end up with 20 bags, and then maybe, of course, I have some beans and things like that I'll probably get around to doing. And you know, usually when I add time, and I've also gotten a couple more questions on older videos about my electric bill. So I crossed off the majority of my personal information, except my first name's Amanda, but that's okay. And this is what my electric bill looks like. So my previous balance was a credit of $222.51. And then I have auto pay. They don't take it out. I might have my bank send $250 a month. And once or twice a month, my credit balance, once or twice a year, my credit balance will get so high that I just skip a payment or drop the payment to like $250, because I want there to be some sort of payment every month. And so they got $250 at that point. Then I had a credit balance of $472.51. And then last month's consumption, which is an actual reading, because Pennsylvania state law was that you had to get a smart meter. So it's read every month. It used to be estimated, but now you can see they're all actual. So I used a $195.91, and we are pretty all electric in the summer. We have a wood burner, but in the winter, occasionally we'll use the electric heat, mostly just the wood burner, and fans to circulate, but the fans use power. And then in the summer, of course, we have air conditioning, which uses some power too. So then after that, I had a credit balance of $276.60. So for those of you who understand kilowatts, which I don't, I used 2011 kilowatts. Honestly, tell me if that's too much. I know, according to my mother, who probably uses 2 kilowatts, she unplugs everything. When she's done watching her television, she unplugs it. She will plug in a lamp before she turns it on because of the phantom power. She's greatly reduced her electric bill by doing that. We went from incandescent to fluorescent, and from fluorescent to LED lights, and we have the lights in the kitchen are motion sensing, to try to save power, but I don't know how good that works because the dogs walk in the kitchen and the lights go on. But so this is the price to compare for power is 5 1/8 cents, I guess. But anyway, we have all these extra charges, which who knows what they're for. But I guess what really matters is the kilowatts used by us in a month were 2011. So my electric bill has always been pretty steady. I don't recall ever getting a tiny electric bill in this house. So, and I've lived here 30 years. So that's it. That's my electric bill. It hasn't gone up, and I wouldn't honestly know because everything averages out for the year. I love this budget program. I wish I could send less than $250 a month, but that's what we do. When we build our house, we're hoping to get some solar, but that's a whole nother thing. And that's it. That's what I prepped today. That was batch 238 in the freeze dryer. The shaved blended Asiago Parmesan Romano cheese that somebody needs to remind me to check in a month and in 6 months, and then every now and then after that, and then I could actually do a video about if it was good or bad. So alright guys, let me know in the comments, what did you prep today, and be blessed.